Well, it was a late night last night here out in the town in Columbus, Ohio. That is a part of all these AIMExpos. We call that networking. It's really just partying. So I don't feel nearly as good for today's videos. Part two, we're going to talk about, again, entry-level motorcycles. We're at Yamaha, who's really kind of pioneered that. You see the PW50 and the TTR line back there. They've had those bikes literally for decades. They're kind of the gold standards of their type of motorcycle, and they're doing good things, obviously, for the entry-level market as well, as all the manufacturers are. But they've got a Valentino Rossi MotoGP replica bike here you can check out. Also, the real key to this whole event, with a big keynote speech to kick things off yesterday morning, is that the industry is hurting and all the manufacturers seem to want to work together to try to regrow the industry from the bottom up. So yes, big investments at the top of the line bikes, of course, but a lot more attention to getting new riders to ride. And we've got some really innovative companies that are doing some pretty crazy things also. Well, let's check that out. Now here's a really cool project. This is called the Stasic, and basically you have your Strider style balance bike with an electric motor and a battery, but it still only weighs 17 pounds. So it's a lot easier for a kid to learn to ride on this than a much heavier gas-powered bike. And they've even said that, honestly, when kids are 2 and 3 years old, I've got a 3-year-old at home. His legs are like this long. It's really hard for them to learn to pedal, even if they have the skill. They don't have much leg power. So this is almost the best way to get started on a bicycle or a motorcycle. And this bike was actually developed by someone who used to work as an engineer at KTM. And he says really the goal was to just be able to enjoy riding with his kid. He didn't plan on marketing this as a vehicle to buy. He just built it himself, and eventually it turned into something you can buy now. So it's really cool for kids. They're available in 12 and 16-inch wheel sizes. Check it out, because now that this thing is established, a lot of people in the industry are thinking this could be the type of vehicle that could really get a lot of kids started on motorcycles much younger than they used to. From the Stasic, you can make the next step up. This is the gas display, but they're owned by a Spanish company called Tarot. I got a huge audience here. They're really excited to shoot this video. Now, I think this might be one of the coolest bikes ever. This machine right here, this is an electric bike, but you can see it looks like essentially a 50cc gas bike. But just think of the difference that that would make. It'd be zero maintenance, it's reliable, and the ability to be able to change the speed, I believe via Bluetooth. You can make changes via Bluetooth, so the parents can control the power and speed of the bike a whole lot better than you could with a gas machine, and that's cool. They also have a trials version of that. This has 12-inch wheels, but they have a 10-inch wheel version coming, which will be for even younger kids. So you can really go through the ranks now on electric bikes, which are very user-friendly. And one other bike we want to mention, this is the Contact. This is your traditional trial-style bike, but see, it's got a seat on it. So another kind of cool, entry-level, easy-to-ride bike that new people can get involved with, and Tarot and Gas are getting in on that trend just like everybody else. Okay, so we've looked at a lot of electric bikes and very innovative, high-tech new bikes for new riders, but there is something to be said about the old school 250 two-stroke. And the coolest thing here is that Prox and Wiseco and a bunch of the companies with their display have actually put together the Can You Rebuild a 250 two-stroke top-end challenge. So I'm going to do my best at it. I promise you I did not practice this at all before this clip, and I'm going to get some help from Dave here because I need help with anything when it comes to mechanics, and I've got to do it one-handed with a microphone. So we'll start with the base gasket. Is that incorrect? Incorrect. All right. Oh, I got it correct now. All right, we got to do a little work. Hold on. All right, so I heard the head and head gasket are the good idea first, correct?
You can do it that way, absolutely.
Yeah.
Saves a little time, just like that.
All right.
You've got 6 head bolts.
Really got to do the head bolts. All right.
Get each one of them started.
Well, I learned the fast way. Watch this. Yeah. Oh, it didn't work.
Almost. I'm the spotter. So
Yeah.
Just in case something goes wrong. Your moto's on the line. You better hurry.
It's a good thing we have a two-stroke. All right.
Ring on the piston. Very good. Make sure the end gap is on the locating pin, which is on the intake side. There you go.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. All right.
This spin bearing. Oh, you want to put the piston on?
Well, I was heard to put this on first, right?
No, you can't put that on first.
You can't?
Got to put your piston on the connecting rod and then the cylinder.
Oh, that's the exact opposite of the way we did it. Go. With the
There's
other guy.
multiple ways. This is the safest way to do it.
Do that. All right, this is really going to be hard.
Let's get that started for you. There you go. Excellent. We're home free.
Woo!
Okay. Now,
Circlip.
Circlip. Button. I'm going to hold the ring in place for you as you slide the cylinder on, just to make it easy.
Yeah, this part I never actually did.
You got it? Just keep it straight.
Yeah.
And we'll drop right down. All the way down. Boom.
bolts.
You got 4 of those.
Good enough.
And voila.
Well, I just learned a valuable lesson. They always said the cool thing about two-strokes is that you can literally rebuild the top end in your garage even if you do not have any mechanical experience, and that's actually been proven right. I just wish I could buy Dave to hang out in my garage every time I have a project like this. Probably the best part of the AIMExpo is the actual riding demos that they call it AIMExpo Outdoors. If you have your street bike license, you can come and try a whole variety of street bikes, basically anything any of the manufacturers offer besides the MotoGP race bikes. So that's a really cool feature as well. And also on Friday night, which is tonight, they have the AMA Hall of Fame, and they'll be welcoming a lot of new riders in, also welcoming some other riders who are already in. And they have a really cool AMA Hall of Fame bike display here. This is actually an old Harley, and that's an old Honda. So you get a really good idea of how far bikes have come. But what we've really learned is that they're trying to go a little bit further to the back of what the motorcycles used to be like, smaller, cheaper, more durable, and entry level to get people started on motorcycles. The industry needs that kind of help, and the AIMExpo is showing that everyone's trying to pull together in that direction. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next year.